Man on bike, watch out. He's clocked us. Morning all, welcome back to the channel here at the car pitch in Cheshire. Now I just thought I'd do a bit of a quick update, what's been going on over the last week or so. Just keep you updated about the sales here and how things are going. Not just here, but also generally in the trade as well, what the sort of feeling is on the ground. Things have been a little bit slow, as I mentioned before, over the last few weeks. For us, it's picked up over the last 10 days, and even this week we've had a couple of sales under a belt. We're not on fire, but we're doing all right. And we have sold a few more this week, which I'm really pleased about. It means we're busy. Generally, the other parts of the trade seems to have picked up. Speaking to the auction, speaking to people buying vehicles, used dealers out there, they do say that things have turned a corner. Like I said, no one's on fire, but it's a marked improvement that we will have in May, because May was just, it was dire, absolutely dire. Anyway, let me give you a update about what's been happening here. Those of you wondering why I'm not in work gear today, we're actually going to be, we are open today, but we're taking some of the staff members out, and we're going to be having a bit of a day at the races. But anyway, that's by the by. Let me show you what's been going on here, what I've been buying, and also what has been fixed as well, because we've got a lot done this week, so let me show you around. Right, we're a little bit crammed in, but I'll go through what we've picked up. Starting off in the corner here, we've got a Chevy Aveo. Bought this from Aston Barclay. And I'll give you an example of what things have been like. I bought this just Thursday gone, a week last Thursday, when things were still just a little bit quiet. We were just about to turn, and the auction was dead. I mean, absolutely dead. I should have filmed the content, to be honest with what's been going on. Not just there, but another place I went as well. But anyway, not by the by. The point being that I did quite well, and I got quite a few vehicles, and I'll show you one or two that have arrived. This was one of them. Now, it's a Chevy Aveo, which is basically a Vauxhall Corsa. Has got a Northern Irish plate on it, which does affect the price. You can have them removed, although it is sort of a bit of a bad selling point to have a Northern Irish plate, because that's a 2012, and I'd just much rather it have a 62 plate on than a Northern Irish cover plate. But anyway, that can be removed. I'm not going to remove it in this case, because the price point of this, what I'm going to put it up for, it's just not worth messing about with. It will fly out the door once we've got it sorted. 1.4 petrol, it drives outstanding. Like I say, it's based on a Corsa with some Daewoo GM bits sort of thrown into the mix, and it's not bad actually. It wants a bloody good buff up because it's a bit dull, but it will come back up. It's got a little few marks on the bumper, but nothing major, and there's a little mark on the door, which it's one of these cars. I mean, I've got a bit of it out here. It's buffed out, but there's still a bit here. I don't know if you can quite see it. I'll try and see if you can see it in the light, but there is one there. Hopefully, it's picked up on the camera. But it's one of these cars where, it's done 110,000 as well, so a little bit high on the miles. But it was on a 12 plate, 110 on it, cleaned its brains out. It's probably like a 23, 24.95 car to retail. Still got to do quite a bit of prep to it, but that's the sort of money you're looking to try and achieve for a car like that, and it'll easily sell. However, that'd be assuming that you're going to have to get it all buffed up, probably repaint the back bumper. It's not horrendous, the back bumper. It's just got a few little bits which you could touch it and get away with. Same with the door. You'll get most of the mark out on the door, and it is only probably about a 6-inch scratch here. You'll get rid of about half it, but you're left with a little bit. But if you just nib it in and price it sensibly, it's one of those cars where, you know, there's no point painting it, because time you've painted that door, you have to blend it, painting into 2 doors and a back bumper, you'd be 400 or 500 quid into paint. And you know, when you can just sell it now for probably $19.95, and someone will buy it, get it mechanically sound, and someone will have it. So that's what I'm going to do with that. It's just one of those cars which basically is not worth spending that extra money for the paint. It's not necessarily needed. Just touch it up, make it look really well, buff the brains out of it, and it'll just fly out the door anyway. Someone drives that. I mean, I've been using it the last couple of days. It's been brilliant. I've been really impressed with it. I'd even go as far to say they drive better than a Corsa. So we'll see how that goes next week. We'll get that online. Other things that have arrived, I've been buying a couple of cheapies. So I bought a 62 plate Astra off a trader friend of mine. Again, a little bit mileagey, but it was very cheap. 62 plates, 1.4 petrol. Has had a recent chain on stuff bits done to it. It does want a little bit more work doing to it. It's got an oil leak it wants curing, usual Corsa stuff problems. You know, it wants new star housing on it because it's starting to leak and stuff like that. But the easy things to do on it. And it wants a grill on the front as well. The grill's a bit smashed in, which I'm going to get a new grill for it. But it was 600 quid. It's 600 quid. So I know it's done 120 thou. It's a bit high, but for £600 for an Astra J on a 62 plate, that's going to make another sort of 1995 territory car, maybe just a tad over that, which you can sell out for someone who just wants a modernish looking car, but a little bit up on the miles, but non-mechanically sound, and it's at a decent price point. If it'd done 70,000 miles, it'd be 2,995. But, you know, it's done 120. And I think for 600 quid, although it's looking a little bit poor now, it does want a little bit of paint as well. It's got a mark on the door here, which we're going to get done. I think it'd be cheap. It's cheap enough. You can spend a few hundred quid of that, you know, a good fair few hundred quid. Even if it owes you £1,000, it doesn't matter. You've still got a nice margin in there. And a car that will sell easily. Stuff like that, family stuff, really sells quickly. C1, we've seen that already. That was on the ramp in my last video. That is now done, being collected today. Done quite a lot to that. The customer is getting a hell of a car there for very little money. That is, I think we did it $18.95. We've had to sort out some bits and bobs for it, refurb some keys and stuff for it. It's had new tyres on it. The whole thing's been under sealed as well. All been serviced. All the seals put in the back like we do. Didn't need paint, which was always a bonus because I'm sick of doing paint at the moment. Drives superb. Again, touch on the miles, 117, doesn't matter on these. I've seen these with 180 foul on, they're just bulletproof. But a nice little, really nice solid car as well. Wasn't rotten underneath, didn't need any welding or anything like that, or touching that. I was quite surprised, because usually they get a bit scaly. That was quite clean underneath, but we still underseal them, you know what I mean, because it just costs us barely nothing to do, and it can keep a car like that going for a lot longer. So yeah, pleased with that one, going out today to the customer. Other things we've progressed on, haven't done much with my Safira. Started valeting it, been a bit of it off and on. I'm going to get onto that next week, weigh up what we're going to do with that. If we're going to trade it on or retail it, we'll see. Because I say, I've got to make sure it's right, that engine, because it has been sort of played with already. Someone's put a turbo on it. There's been some work done, so I'll make sure that it's been all right, done right, and we're not opening up a can of worms. And if I've got any sort of worry, I'll be trading it on. But anyway, we'll come back to that next week. Other things as well, what we've got going on. Fiat 500, that is off to have some more paintwork sorted out for that. And hopefully be back next week. We've done some progress on that one. We've got the Fiat back. Yes, the Fiat 500L, back from the paint shop. Now, if you remember this one, it has sold, by the way. We have sold this. We did a video on it a few weeks ago. It had a horrible ding here. Right horrible thing. And now, as you can see, look at that there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The paint man's done as proud as always. Just wants another buff up now just to get it looking lovely. Obviously valeting, redoing, needs a clutch. We did know, obviously aware of that, we needed a clutch. Still drives fine, but just a little tad heavy. So the customer's aware of that. We're going to put a clutch in it now. Monday morning, my mechanic will love that, putting a clutch in that. We'll get that sorted. And it also needs a new start-stop battery because it's starting to be a bit intermittent, saying it's not working, then it's working, not working. The battery looks old, it's probably just coming to the end of its life, and the stop-start function stopped working, which seems to be a common thing at the moment with vehicles I'm buying. But anyway, that's back. Kia Rio, this is a new one. You've probably not seen this. An SR7 I bought, little 1.2 petrol, 35 quid road tax, done 66,000 miles on a 15 plate. Nice thing this, with service history, a lovely, lovely car. Literally needed hardly anything doing to it at all. Did have a little bit of play in the steering, which is very common on Kias and Hyundais, the i20s, the Rios, and a few others as well. Always usually like a little star bush bearing that goes in the steering. Anyway, we sorted it, dead easy. We keep them in stock, fixed that one. Barely needed anything underneath. It's been well looked after, and it's a lovely, lovely modern car. And it's a 3-door. Some will say a 5-door would be more preferable. And to be honest, I probably preferred a 5-door. But that was what was available, and it was at good money. I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it was a decent car for good money. I've never sold one, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. We've sold many of the 5-doors, but I've never sold a 3-door. It is a 1.2. So I think there's probably people out there who might want to, probably would buy a sort of Corsa or a Fiesta 3-door that'll be into that as well. A little bit spacious, so we'll see how we go. And good build quality as well on these. They're not like they were 20 years ago, blimey. Anyway, I'll go through in a sec what we've other things we've sold this week. But I'll talk about a car that's just turned in. We've just bought this from auction again the other week. Part of my sort of bargain run I had from Aston Barclay. I bought that Aveo. I also bought this Kia, and I also bought this Corsa. And this Corsa was a decent price actually. However, it does have a problem. It doesn't have a problem. It's cheap for a reason. Now, this is a 62 plate Corsa limited edition. Done 70,000 miles in red, and it's absolutely beautiful. Drives stunning, looks the part. It's got little boy racer or girl racer written all over it. You can see the front end there. I'm sorry about the gate being shut, but not quite open yet. Nice car. However, it is a previous category S repaired vehicle. Now, it has been repaired. I checked it out in the auction. Went through it properly underneath and making sure there was no nasties. For what I could see, it looked all right. Took a punt on it. Had it up in the ramps here. It's fine. Absolutely no problems at all. It's been repaired a while ago, so it's not a recent accident. And he's probably had a rear end, because you can just see, you can quite make it out, there's a tad of reaction here, or sort of orangey peeling on the paint just as it sort of flicks up here where there's been a repair. So I'm assuming it's on the tailgate. but it's all solid on the back and anything like that. It's been repaired okay. And I'm always wary of sort of S's and Cat N cars, and you should always make sure that when you're buying stuff like this, that you check it out properly. And the best way to do that, guys, is just use Vehicle Score, our sponsor for the channel. Vehicle Score will check out your vehicles, make sure they're not got any nasties hidden on there, never been in a salvage auction, never been written off, or never been used, not maybe this wouldn't be, but used as a taxi, anything like that. Make sure you get Vehicle Score. The apps and the website's free to use anyway. Download it, so you can put your details in, check any car out, get your unique score for that vehicle. There's loads of history, performance data, mileage tracker, loads of information for free. And you're only going to go on and buy a vehicle, please make sure you get a proper search done. You don't want to buy a car that's on the register, you not know about it, because it devalues the vehicle. This is why this vehicle is a bit cheaper than it otherwise would be. And you'd be amazed how many vehicles are on the road now currently that are got damage markers on them from the insurance companies, and people aren't aware of it. And obviously finance as well is a big one as well. So you say start some less than £3, and you say you get a discount as well. Car UK viewers get 20% off by using the promo code CARUK20. They offer some of the most competitive prices out there for searches as well, so don't miss out on Vehicle Score. Make sure you get your vehicles checked, use our promo code CARUK, and you can find Vehicle Score's details in the description, so check them out today. Now, this Corsa is, like I said, on the register. It's 70,000 miles, does drive spot on. It's just, I can't believe how good it is, for a car that's been previously damage repairable, because usually they just always look a bit sort of ropey. This one's really nice. Now, I've got it up for £2,650. Take us some off it, maybe 20-30%, some would argue. I've landed at £2,650. I think we'll sell that. We always do well with Corsas. We always get people asking for them. Maybe I'm £150 too dear if you're going to be technical, but I don't think we're going to struggle to sell it. And it's, you might find one that's categorised that's a standard Corsa, but this is a limited edition one, and it's just, it's not my cup of tea, but for the youth out there, they will buy this, and it's got everything right for it. It's got the black wheels, black roof, black grille. If you like that, great. It would just fly out the door. If I could buy these every day, I would, even though they are a bit of a pain to prep. But they are good sellers, and at the end of the day, that's what matters about cars that sell. So anyway, Corsa's here. It's a nice thing. I'd be amazed if this is still here in the next 4 or 5 days. So hoping to get a new owner in this, hopefully today. So we'll see how we go on with that one. Quick mention, another quick purchase that I've had as well this week is the Fusion. By the way, the Corsa's sold. That's now waiting on a windscreen, and it's going out Monday. We sold that a week or two ago. Full enough, actually, that you think about it in comparison, that's not a registered car. That's a very, very straight one, HPI clear, and that sold for a few £100s less than that limited edition one. So that just goes to show how much money you can save on an insurance write-off that's been repaired. Anyway, going back off subject again. Fusion bought this off a subscriber. It came into the gate. Been in the fire for about a couple of weeks now. The guy's been mulling over whether to take me offer or not. 1.4 diesel, I think it's only about 60,000 miles. Very clean car. Sadly, he's got problems with injectors. It's been getting worse. He's had problems with them before. He's had them replaced. He's had some wiring done. Where he's mainly gone wrong with this one is it's sort of been patched up as we've gone. So basically, the injectors on these, they usually just sort of start failing. You get one that fails, then you change one, and a few months later another one goes. From sort of rule of thumb, where we've always worked with these, is if one of them goes, you need to change the whole lot. Yes, you can put one in and away you go again, but most of the time, within 6 to 12 months, the others pack up and they just start falling down, and also wiring issues you can go wrong with them as well. They're a bit of a pain when they start playing up the injectors. The actual engines themselves, when they run right, are superb, and they're actually quite reliable, but just the injectors are a little bit sort of weak on them. And it's also on the later ones, the 1.6s as well, the bigger engines, they can suffer with injector issues. The easiest way is just to get a new set of refurbed injectors. Now, they're actually a lot cheaper than I thought they were. They used to be quite expensive. They've come down a bit now, but they're still not really handy money. We're not talking like 50 quid, 100 quid for some injectors you're going to get. You're talking hundreds of pounds, but you know they're going to be right. Anyway, we've scanned that, had a look at it, and it's coming up with 2 injectors down on it. You unplug them and basically nothing's happening, there's nothing going on. So we need to check all the wiring to that as well, but we're just going to get a new set of injectors because they're all mismatched, start again and go from there. Give the guy 500 quid for it because it's running on 2 cylinders. If you get that right, you're probably going to throw 500 quid at that to get it sort of prepped and ready on sale. It's probably a 21.95 car, maybe a touch more with 60 thou on. Who knows? Fusions, I don't know, they hang about a bit. You're generally bought by older people. The youth ain't buying one of those. I've never seen a young person drive around in a Fusion. Fiestas, yes. Fusions, no. So they can stick around a bit. They're not saying they're bad sellers. They're not something that fly out the door. and it is a diesel as well. I just much prefer it to be a 1.214 petrol, but it is what it is. It's cheap, and it's got cheap road tax, and I think we will fix it and we'll get it up and running again. So we're going to get that sorted. I say we're just going to have a mess around with it this week and get some injectors organised for it and start again. So we've already started stripping it down and just checking them out. But it's clean inside, it's a real shame. And the guy bought it because he heard good things about the engine and how reliable they were. But unfortunately, he's just had a bit of a nightmare with this one, and that sometimes can happen. I wouldn't say the 1.4 diesel is a particularly bad engine, but unfortunately he has suffered with this one. People keep asking me about why my car's in the corner. My car's in the corner because, I'm going to be doing a video on it actually next week. I've been mired since I started the channel to do a video on this. I am going to do one. So I'm going to do it next week, and there's a good reason why I'm going to be doing a video. Not because it's broken. People always go, is it broken? Is it broken? Is your Italian car the rubbish? It's broken. No, it's not broken. Never broke down in its life. Most reliable car I've ever owned. But we'll catch up with that one next week. Other things I bought this. This is just come in yesterday. Kia Sportage. At the moment, isn't running. It is running. Doesn't move. It's got. I think the clutch is collapsed. To be honest, could be a gearbox fault. I bought it on the basis that it might have a gearbox fault because they do go wrong on these. But I think it's probably a clutch led, because if you put it in first, start it up, we can make it crawl, but that's about it. There's no clutch at all, and it's a little bit. It doesn't feel right in the box. So we're going to strip it all out and start again on that one. 1.7 diesel, done 100 thou. Never bought one of these. I've driven many of them, but I've been trying to bid on them lately and nearly getting there, and winning a couple, but just not quite. Underbidder. Don't get anything in this game for being second at an auction. But I'm starting to bid on these, which is good news, because I do like them, and this is going to be the first one we've had on the pitch, and they say it's a nice spec one with leather and everything, so I'm definitely intrigued to see how well this flies out the door. So I'm going to say it's got a lot of work to go yet. We're going to be looking at wheels, need refurbing, we're going to get the running right. There'll be other things, you just know there will be, but I'm excited about that one, because I say these Sportages are really good news, good cars. We've just got to get it running right and operating right, so we're going to get on with that next week. Duke, as we know, is sold. We're just literally waiting on a little bit of trim for the door so we can get that out this week. That's good. We've sold the FR, so the Seat Me FR. Been with us a while, a good month or two. Really surprised. We've had a few people on this, and we've had a couple of test drives, but no one quite commits, and I have no idea why, because it's a lovely thing. It's well spec, 16 plate, and I've priced it proper sensibly as well. It's not even remotely overpriced. But anyway, guy rang up, a subscriber, he wants it. I think it's himself and his son are going to be using it, from what I can gather. But anyway, they're happy with it. They're going to pick that up hopefully next week, so we're going to get that prepped. That was sold yesterday, and it's a nice car, well spec'd, lovely colour, so we're going to get on with that one. So I'm pleased that's gone. I did give him a little discount as well, and thrown his road tax in. Obviously being a subscriber, I always like to give a little bit of something when I can. So yeah, I'm pleased it's got a name down on it now. Would I buy another one? Yes. My last ones I bought have sold, flew out the door. This one, I think it's because it's just over that £4,000 mark. The others I've bought in the past were 12, 13 plates. They're a bit cheaper. Obviously older cars, that's why they were cheaper. But the 16 plate one, obviously it's £4,500 thereabouts, 4,600 this one was. It's just getting towards the upper end of my budget. And a lot of people who want a small runaround car, not saying people won't buy stuff at £4,500, they will. In the same way I've got that Rio up there, which might linger because of the price. But it's easy to sell a £3,000 car that's a few years older. It always is. That's the sort of sweet point at the moment in the market. But yeah, anyway, it's gone. It's going to have a new owner soon. Really pleased about that one. Boomerang car is on sale. Those in the last video, watch that. Back on sale. Had a few sniffs on it. Hopefully that'll be gone soon. Qashqai, I think we've sold this as well. We've got a guy who's going to be having this offers. He's previously had a Focus offers, and he's seen this and wants to upgrade it. So it's a little bit of a situation there. We're going to have to basically get him out of the Focus, give him some money back on that Focus. He's not long had it, he's only had it a few months. So it's a bit of a tricky one when you're trying to buy back a car at that level. But we are going to do a deal on it. In fairness, looked after the Focus really well. So we'll get it back on here, and we'll just resell the Focus and give him some discount against this, obviously, as well. So yeah, that's good news. So I'm hoping to conclude that deal today and get that gone. So that is pretty much it, really, on the roundup. We've not much else to report. Oh, Peugeot, that was the part of the car deal the other week with the Boomerang i10. This was the car I've mentioned to talk to you about, that the lady who bought the i10 because this had packed up on her. She then got this fixed after she bought the i10, brought it to me and sold it me, and then come back a few days later and sold me back the i10. Madness. But anyway, that's the Peugeot. Nice thing, diesel, new fuse board and all that in it, which is a common thing. That was the problem with it. That's all been done, and it's on sale. A few sniffs on it, cheap diesel for 1995 of I think about 98,000 miles or something like that. It's done, and it's clean, drives really well. So that sort of stuff sells all day long, bread and butter type vehicles for us. Have a quick look in the workshop, see what's in there, and then we'll have a bit of a chat as well about what's happening over the next week or so. Right, a bit doom and gloom in here because I haven't got the doors open. A few little bits of, actually another sold car. So, Mariva. This was by the gate, Mariva 1.4 petrol. We've sold a couple of these recently. One that we sold about a month or two ago. We had an issue with the other one. Came back, lady, basically broke down on her. It started to leak water. And we had a massive problem with the radiator. It wasn't working properly. Anyway, we fixed it, sorted it all out. That was resolved. And look, good news for us as well, because it could have been a disaster. But we fixed that one. And then from that, we've learnt a lesson on these, what to check on them properly, as in all the radiators. Got 2 sensors, you make sure they're working. Got leaky stat housings, leaky thermostat housings. It was basically just change the sodding lot of them. That's basically what we do. So we've learnt a lesson there. So this is another one. Now this one didn't have any coolant issues, but nonetheless we still change them. This one had a noisy timing chain, which has been done. We've done the chain on it. So we're just basically now just doing all the other bits. So say we put a new stat housing on it, we put a new water pump on it, we did the chain. So we do all them anyway. Radiator sensors, I think they're inside there. Are they in here? Should be. Yeah, there's some radiator sensors in there. So we're going to change them tomorrow, get it all serviced up. Other than that, really underneath, it's actually really good. It's really, really nice thing. I had to put a new exhaust on it though, as well, which annoyed me because they're very expensive on these. But it needed doing. But it's a lovely car, drives well. Old boy came on in the week with his missus and they're buying it. And local as well, which is good. There was like a local sale. So yeah, that one's been sorted out this week, or next week should we say now. Also, C-Max. This has been lingering in the corner for ages. One of these cars I've been waiting to do work on. Originally came in, I said, where did I get this from? Aston Barclay. Bought it probably 4 or 5 months ago. Sitting in the corner. Clutch was dead eye on it. It drove, but it was really high. It also had, it was filthy dirty, really bad. Valeter spent about 3-4 days on and off trying to get it clean in between jobs. And also had a problem as well, dodgy starting and dials messing up. Very common on Focuses and C-Maxes. The binnacles play up. Anyway, we get them repaired locally, they're not expensive to do. So we had that done, now starts on the button. New clutch in it as well, that's the main reason why it's on the ramp. And yeah, it's now moving them back and forth and got a nice clutch in it, all working properly. The binnacle's back in, that's all fixed as well. It's only a cheapie. It's done about, again, it's a bit of high mileage stuff. It's 120, but it's been looked after really. I think the clutch is just what's killed it for them. They probably had an issue with it starting, and the clutches started to slip, and they just decided to get rid of it. But underneath, it's like it's had recent brakes on it. They're a bit dirty at the moment because they want cleaning up, but they're recent. And like I said, it's had a couple of tyres that are not that old on it, and it's had drop links and stuff on it that aren't that old. So we've just come in and just done the major things that we need to do. Sorted out the clutch, and there's a couple of drive shaft seals that were leaking. We've just done all those bits. And now, actually, it's going to offer a decent value for someone. It's only going to be like probably an £1,800 car. It's got 120 thou on. If it had 70,000 miles on it, it'd be a 24.95 car, but it hasn't. It's got 120 on it, but there's no reason why you can't get 40 or 50 thou out of that if you look after it and service it. It's a 1.6 petrol, they're pretty bulletproof. It's a cheap family car for someone. Now, I admit, go back 5 years ago, that would have been £400 or £500 cheaper at a dealership. But unfortunately, the price of used cars in the market, we had that big spike, and they've just sort of settled down at a new high. And I would have bought it cheaper as well, so I don't think I'm just making more money out of it. You would have got it cheaper a few years ago. I think we gave for this about 500-600 quid. We've probably spent, a couple of £100 on prep already, maybe a bit touch more than that. So you're not on big wages, but it's bread and butter stock and stuff we like selling. You can sell out with confidence, fly out the door, someone can use that, get the family from A to B, good workhorse or something like that. Good family cars, they drive all right, they're just Focuses really, on stilts. Anyway, so that's another one we're going to get rid of this week, hopefully on sale, which would be good because I'll be trying to get through these cars that have been lingering in the corner. And I made a decision the other week to say, look, every week now we need to pull a car out of the corner that's been here far too long and deal with it. Priority, we've got to deal at least one a week just to get that backlog gone, even if it means having to get rid of them, scrap them, trade them on, whatever, or fix them in this case. It just needs doing, because otherwise, I've got more cars laid up, owe me money, than actually on sale, and that's just not good, and not good at all. Quick updates on some other things that have happened, a couple of bits of news that are very important. Number one, we had a bit of a scare midweek. We had a new man on bike who appeared, although we did manage to shoo him off. He basically came in, I'd actually get a bit of footage of it, I'll show you in a sec. He came in and he tried putting his, we'll always do this, man on bike does, tries to put his bike down against the side of a car. I mean, why? Why would you do that? You wouldn't do that. And literally, we've actually, oi, what are you doing? Type thing, because I'm thinking you're not putting, it was just Mariva actually, because it was in the corner, it was just Mariva, and trying to put his bike down, like, whoa, what are you doing? And he's sort of like, oh, and then carries on, gets on his bike and starts driving round the centre of the forecourt, looking at stuff. In the end, I got my phone out and thought, no one's going to believe me, so I got a quick film of him, you can see him here. Hang on, what's this here? Man on bike, watch out, he's going, he's clocked us. Anyway, it looks like we scared him off, and then today I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, because it's very rare a man buys a car on a bike, unless he's buying it for his wife, as we found out recently. Other bits of news as well, I've had a bit of a development on my business rates. I mentioned this a few months ago. The council, well, basically are, well, tearing me a new arsehole basically on the business rates. I had a big appeal going on with the valuations office, who basically ballsed up my appeal, come back after 6 months and knocked 250 quid off a rates bill, which should have about 2.5 grand knocked off it, and would have put me into the lower tier. Now, I don't know who actually told me, and the person it was, thank you, but someone mentioned in the comments in a video a couple months ago when I talked about my rates and the problems that I was having, about a particular discount you can get. Now, I've got all the small business rates relief, all that. I've got all that on my account. But there's also what's called a retail relief, which I was completely unaware of. And I looked at it first and dismissed it because it looked like it was for travel and tourism and hotels and stuff. It was a special relief. It started off from COVID really, because you can imagine that industry got absolutely battered during COVID. I mean, it was horrific what happened in the retail sector, particularly leisure. I mean, they really did suffer. But when I actually looked into it more closely, as this guy pointed out, it did actually include car pitches and dealerships, which I was amazed by. So as a temporary solution, I managed to put that in, that request, and got some news this week, and I actually got a massive discount on my rate. Now, it doesn't solve the problem, because eventually at some point that relief will go and I'm going to be paying full whack again, which has cost me a lot of money, which I shouldn't be paying. I'm not trying to get away with not paying something I literally should not be paying. It's completely wrong. The area they're charging me for, I don't actually own, so that's the problem. But for now, at least while we're going to mess around putting another appeal in, which will take 6 months to get read, I've got some money coming back to me, which I'm really pleased about. A fair few grand as well, which I don't owe. So I'm not trying to, I'm still going to be paying rates, but I'm not going to be paying anywhere near what I should have been paying. So I've had a bit of a result there, so I'm happy about that. It's let me, that's cheered me up a bit, to be fair, because it's demoralising when you have to pay thousands and thousands of pounds a year in business rates, particularly when you don't actually owe it. Right, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I'm going to go off to Chester races now with the team and hopefully have a good day, although it is about to piss it down. So no doubt I'm going to lose all money on the horses and probably drown. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Let me hear your comments and thoughts about anything you've seen or I've talked about in this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.